Good evening,
Happy
Drew.
Call of Duty Eve to you, Paul. Were you a good boy this year? Is Call of Duty Claus going to bring you presents or Cole?
Uh, I guess I'm gonna be getting coal because I'm not gonna play it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's okay.
It's meh. Now, the real question is, did you take tomorrow off?
I absolutely did.
Good for you.
I absolutely did. Yeah, no, I haven't really had a day off a lot this year. This has been a very full year for me with the stuff that I had going on the first half of the year, where I was like doing 2.5 jobs, and then the summer hit, and I had some travel for work, and I at that point it was like August, and I'm just like, I could take a few days off and just try to decompress and everything, but I was like, I got a lot of vacation time sort of built up, so I'm going to take Call of Duty Day off, and
Good for
then
you.
I'm taking like the week of Thanksgiving off and like 2 weeks around Christmas.
Good.
Yeah, so November's like a lost cause. Like there's not going to be a lot going on in November.
Oh.
Hey, before we dive into the topics,
Mm-hmm.
and I won't get specific here unless you're allowed to, but you texted me that you might be late or we wouldn't be able to record tonight.
We'll probably be able to. I don't want to talk about it. I'll tell you after off of the air. The gist of it. I think we'll probably be able to talk about the whole thing in probably a couple of weeks.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like dying to
Mm-hmm.
know, right? Because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I know what it
Yep.
is, and I'm not trying to
Yes.
be coy with the audience, but it is a
Yes.
whole
Yes.
saga, and
It's a
I can't.
whole. It's a whole thing.
It's
It's
a
a whole
whole
thing.
thing.
I want to wait until ink is dry on paper before I.
Great. Complete. Okay. Say no
Yeah.
more.
Okay.
Yeah. Stay
Mm-hmm.
tuned. Probably episode
Mm-hmm.
171, 172.
I'm. That's what I'm guessing. Yep.
All right. Let's dive into topics.
Okay.
Stage Manager. I know of this. I have not used it.
Okay, so have you upgraded to Ventura on your Mac yet?
No. So it's funny you
Okay.
mentioned that, because I got an
Okay.
angry email from corporate IT security that my Mac needed an upgrade.
Oh.
Yeah. So for those of you that aren't aware, right, the company I work for allows you to bring your own device. It has to be company managed, where you put like a system agent on it, and it makes sure that your computer has like a strong password and
Mhm.
encryption and other policies. And then it also drops a series of like certificates on there, so I can like authenticate to certain web services, and it's a whole thing. But they also know like what version of the OS you're running and everything. And if you fall like a version behind, they'll wait like a few days, unless it's like a critical security patch or something, and then you'll get an email saying, hey, can you upgrade your system, please? And then if you ignore that one, the reminder email has your manager CC'd. So I like to take care of those early. But yeah,
Got it.
so I
Okay.
I actually upgraded to the latest version of, what is it, Monterey right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Monterey.
upgraded to the latest version of Monterey. I didn't want to do Ventura today because I was literally in meetings for like 10 hours today.
Okay.
So I didn't want my computer to be down for like the 2 hours it takes to do. Well, it doesn't take that long. It takes like 30 to 40 minutes.
I think this one took my machine about an hour, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably a tomorrow or this weekend Drew problem, where I'll actually
Okay.
like get to a place where I can close my browser tabs and
Got it.
and
Got
like
got it.
and do all that. But anyway, go ahead.
So I have upgraded to Ventura on my machines. So Stage Manager. I'm not going to talk about the iPad version because I don't understand it on the iPad. I was kind of excited about it there, but I tried using it. I don't get it yet, and I really haven't spent a lot of time with it. But I have spent a lot of time with Stage Manager on the Mac.
Okay. So
Uh,
so what is it?
Okay, so it's a new window management paradigm for the Mac. Okay, so it's a mode that you turn on, right? So it's off by default.
Mhm.
You have to turn it on. And then what it does is it keeps on the left-hand side of your screen, kind of like in a column, it creates, I think the documentation actually calls them piles, which I don't like. I'm going to call them
Piles.
stages. I'm going to call them stages
That
because the
has.
Stage Manager.
Are,
Yeah,
are you are you
Mhm.
aware of the
Yes.
international implications of calling something piles.
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Okay. Great. That's going in the show notes for those of you that don't. You should not click on that link.
So it kind of leaves like the applications you have open and running in stages on the left-hand side, and then you can kind of like move things together. So you can like group applications, and they'll be like in a little bunch, kind of in a small little thumbnail version, and you can click on that, and then it brings all those applications over together. I am a big, especially on my work machine, I am a big Spaces virtual, kind of the max version of virtual desktops.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
So typically, what I have is on my work machine is I run with 3 Spaces. The first one is my, I like to say it's basically like my collaboration, right? It's got Teams, it's got Outlook. It usually has at least like one Edge window. I use Edge for all my work internet stuff. The second window is kind of where, like, if I'm actually like working, where I get things done. I usually have like, if I'm I have like a terminal open, I may have like a remote desktop session onto a Windows machine open. If I have Visual Studio Code open, it would be on that one. And the third one is for me. I usually have like, if I have like a personal website I want to look at, it's there. I have my Twitter client open there. So like the third space is for Daddy.
So quick clarification. Do you just have one monitor now? Or do you use your laptop screen as a monitor too?
I use my laptop screen as a monitor, but all it does is have Spotify on it.
Got it.
That's only thing that goes on there. Occasionally, if I really need it, I'll drag like a one tab out of like a web browser or put like my note-taking app on there. But most of the time, no. I mean, I have a nice 27-inch 5K monitor. I most of my work tends to happen on that one screen. So when Stage Manager came out, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn off Spaces. So I'm going to go down to one desktop, and I'm going to try to use Spaces. And my first thing was like, I'm going to recreate those 3 grouping of applications as 3 separate spaces. So instead of switching desktops, I would click on them and like switch all of the apps together.
Right.
It is almost perfect. Almost perfect. And the basic broad strokes, it does exactly that, right? It's also kind of nice because the little thumbnail previews are live. So like if I'm in a Teams meeting and I switch over to something else, I can still see like a little thumbnail of what's going on in Teams on the left-hand side while I have my other like stage open, which is great. It's great. It works really well. It's almost perfect. Okay, so complaint time. Anytime you open a new app, it puts it in its own space. So all the applications that you're currently looking at go zoom and zip off to the left.
Wait. It literally just creates a new blank space?
Yes, with just that app in it.
Okay.
There is no way I can't figure out a way to say, hey, open this app in the space I have open. It's always a new space. Like I'm gonna launch iTerm right now. Yep, everything just zipped off to the left, and all I have open is iTerm. Yep. Okay. So that definitely happens. You can add it to an existing space, but what you kind of have to do is, I found the easiest way is you open the new application, you click back on the space that you want to launch that, and then you go back over and you hold Shift and you click on like the application you just opened, and that brings it into the space that you have. You also can like drag and drop it. That works as well. But it's just awkward that like it's first, like coming from Spaces in the virtual desktop, right? If I open up a new app, it opens up on the desktop that I currently have. And I think that should be an option or the default for Spaces. It's very weird. You open a new app and poof, everything goes away. It's also, this is going to be hard to explain. It's not the stacks on the left hand side, they lack. In my notes, I said they lack spatialness, and what I mean is like they're not in any kind of discernible order. When you switch, so like they're in a stack right on top of each other from top to bottom. When you switch spaces, the space that you're in takes the spot in the column of the space you're switching to. So things are never like in a particular order. Because like in my head, I was, like coming from spaces, desktop 1 was collaboration, right. Desktop 2 was work.
And they're always in the same order. So if you know where you're at.
Exactly. That is not the case with Stage Manager. They're always moving. So, also, there's no keyboard shortcuts.
Oh, like fuck off.
You can use Command Tab to kind of like, if you use Command Tab, which is kind of like the version of like Alt Tab or Windows Tab in Windows. If you pick an application, it'll switch to that space. Yeah, there's no keyboard shortcut to rotate through spaces, which hurts because I have I have like years of muscle memory of switching desktops with the keyboard. Every once in a while, and I don't know why, it kind of just freaks out, and all of my windows in a space move about maybe it's about 300 pixels to the left.
Wild.
I don't know why. And also, I currently have my Mac set up that like if I get a phone call, I get that notification on my Mac as well.
Yep.
When that notification occurs, it switches to like all your space just goes away and you're looking at the desktop. It just takes all your windows and goes whoop.
Hey, you might want to take this call.
And you're left with just the one notification.
What about okay, sorry. So what about applications what about things other than your phone call? What if you get like a Teams call?
That's fine. Like you just get the notification, and if you click on it, it'll switch to the space that has Teams in it. Like that works fine. It's just the only notification that has done the weirdness is like the default, like you got a phone call. So yeah, and that's just weird. But I like being able to see the thumbnails of the other applications I have running. Like I think that's a really great feature. But like it's almost perfect. It's almost perfect.
Can you adjust? I'm actually looking at a picture of it right now. Can you adjust the size of the thumbnails?
You cannot.
Ugh. And how do you hide the thumbnails? Just like move your mouse away from that edge of the screen?
So I have it so their thumbnails are always visible. There is an option to kind of turn them off, and then if you put your mouse to the left-hand side, it'll show them. Like okay. So it's yeah.
All right. So I feel like there's a piece of this that I'm not going to know the answer to until I try it. So I'm with you. I'm a spaces whore, right? Like I love that shit. Like I have my laptop monitor that is dedicated to Teams and Spotify, and then I have like desktop 1, which is like email and shit that I don't necessarily want to share with people, and then I have spaces 2, which is like Daddy's work zone, where I can share screens and have Visual Studio Code open and do stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So the one thing I'm not hearing in your description of how this works, and I'm not super jazzed about it, is what about gestures if you have a magic mouse or trackpad?
I don't think those would do anything. Hold on.
Because that's how Daddy flips through his spaces today, and I love it.
See, I use keyboard shortcuts. I use Control left and right arrow and Control 1, 2, 3 to switch to the one I want. I have a trackpad somewhere, but it's in a place where I don't know where it is, or I would let you know. But I assume it doesn't do anything.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, I wish I could control the order of like which one was first, second, or third, and I wish I could assign keyboard shortcuts to switch between them. That would fit my muscle memory better. But I don't know. They didn't want to do that for some reason. I'm gonna try it for another week or two to see whether it sticks or not. before I make a decision on whether I'm going to go back to Spaces or keep up with Stage Manager.
It's going to be real. Even if Stage Manager is good, and it doesn't sound like we know for sure if it's good, it's going to be real hard for me to break my workflow with Spaces.
That is the problem I'm having. Is I'll go through and I'm like, okay, I need to SSH to a server, and I just hit Control-2. And nothing happens. I'm like, oh shit. Stage Manager. Click on it. Okay, got it. Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, I'll try it. So how hard was to unfuck it? Like, did you turn it off, or is it still on?
It's on. I have it on my personal. I'm using it right now. I have it on my personal machine and my work machine still. So yeah.
So what happens if you turn it off? Is it going to remember your Spaces setup from before?
I don't know. Am I brave enough to turn it off? Let's turn it off.
And then his computer crashed.
It did. Yeah.
Okay.
That would have been great. Yeah. Okay. It all went back. Yep.
Okay. So that way, at least if I don't like it, I won't have to like recreate everything.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
So we're not sure if we like it then yet.
I'm on the fence. Like, it's almost perfect. It's almost perfect. And maybe like in a point release, they'll
I wish Windows had better virtual desktop support. It's there, but it doesn't work as nice. No. And I'm so spoiled by gesture controls that even if it did work the same way, I don't have a gesture mouse, so it wouldn't be something that I would do. Now, my Linux VMs, right? Most Linux desktop managers have had virtual desktops since like 1987, right?
Yep,
like and they do something like most of the desktop managers I've used do something similar to what I'm looking at here with Stage Manager, where like if you put your cursor near the edge of the screen, you can sort of click on the desktop. So like you're switching whole desktops that way. And there's keyboard shortcuts and everything else that people who use Linux are going to be comfortable with. But it's basically the best of both worlds, to where like you can quickly mouse over and it's got a little picture of your desktop and what's running on it. You can switch between them that way. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Piles.
That's
the best they could do.
I'm calling them stages. So
it's stages, holes. Yeah.
Yeah. Stacks. Okay. Anything but pile.
Yeah. Well, that's a good update. I'll be excited to try it. But again, I don't necessarily think that I'll reserve judgment until I try it, but I'm not super jazzed about this. You have an iPhone update.
I do. I have a little bit of follow up.
Okay.
So last week I told you about the story of UPS in my iPhone. And Apple had started at that point. Yes, Apple had started a replacement. I did learn a couple of things. The reason why my claim was canceled is because Apple sets it up that only they can open claims
on their shipments.
Okay. So that is why it was canceled. On Saturday, my replacement changed from preparing replacement to preparing to ship. And I would like to happily report that I received my iPhone 14 Pro today.
Wow.
And I have been using it since about 3:00 this afternoon.
So originally they had quoted you mid-November.
They did, yes.
God damn, son. They must have found some in the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, how's Dynamic Island?
Uh-oh. No, it's okay. So it is very interesting. Right. I like the fact that typically the only thing I've really listened to with it is like Overcast, listening to podcasts, and it is great always having that indicator of what Overcast is playing up there on the Dynamic Island. I personally am a light mode user. I'm not a big fan of dark modes. You can yell at me all you want. I think dark mode in Dynamic Island is going to be really divisive because it basically disappears most of the time. Yep. If it's not doing anything, it disappears. I think some people are really going to like it. I really dislike it.
Okay.
I like seeing it there. I like knowing that it's there.
Yep.
Pixel Pals in Apollo is amazing. Even though, like in the most recent update, if you don't have the dynamic island, you can still turn on Pixel Pals, and it basically lives on the little bar that you can use to swipe up on.
Yep.
But in the dynamic island, you get a little bit more interactivity. My little dog has pushed the ball off of the dynamic island, and I watched it fall all the way down a few times.
Dogs will do that.
It is pretty cute. The only thing that I'm going to have to change the way I use my phone a little bit. So obviously, like, hey, Drew, if you're scrolling something on an iPhone and you want to go back to the top, what do?
Okay, listen, Paul, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I love you so much,
mm-hmm.
and you can never do anything wrong, and I know you'll never be mad at me, and that I'm perfect, and that we're best friends.
Mm-hmm.
I swiped my thumb a bunch of times.
Okay, one of the things you can do is tap towards the top of your phone, and it will scroll back to the top.
Okay. I learned.
Okay.
TIL.
Okay. That has been a feature of iOS since like iOS 7 or something. It's like been there forever. It works on any native scroll view. I use that gesture quite a bit to scroll back to the top. I usually, in my old phones, I would tap like where the notch is, and that worked fine. Mm-hmm. Now, if I tap there and anything is going on, it opens up the dynamic island thing. So I kind of have to like learn to tap to the right or left of the dynamic island to scroll back to the top.
You almost have to like tap in a corner.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
But the one thing that I have noticed the most out of this is Face ID's always been fast and magical.
Yeah.
It is faster. In fact, it's so fast that at first I thought I had it turned off.
you're in the process of like whipping your phone out, and Face ID's already like, I got you.
I got you. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, on my iPhone 12 Pro, when I hit my phone, like if I tap the screen and I'm like, ass to ass with it, like it flickers for a second, and I see just a microsecond of the little animation.
Exactly. It's always been fast.
Right.
It's faster. It's crazy how fast it is.
Okay.
It's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, so far so good. I'll have a more detailed review next week. We got some big band stuff coming up, so I'm going to be taking lots of video with it.
Okay, I was going to say like that other than Dynamic Island and the display, which I think is a little bit better. I think the biggest improvements is probably in the camera, right?
Yeah. The screen does feel a little bit bigger. Not by the screen. Obviously, the phone didn't get any bigger, but I think there's just a few more pixels. It feels like the screen's a little bigger and the bezels are a little bit thinner. Yeah, it's so far so good. I got the deep purple phone. Yep. I also got the purple silicone Apple case.
Oh fuck! All right, here comes my credit card. God,
it looks amazing.
All right, hang on.
It looks amazing.
Hang on, hold it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
iPhone 14 Pro, deep purple.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a case. You said.
There's
How
a case.
How do I find the accessories?
Accessories. Off. Hold on. I'll shop Mag.
Accessories. There we go.
Yeah.
You didn't get the leather one.
No, I got the. That's not.
iPhone 14. See all MagSafe accessories. No.
Mm-hmm. Cases and covers. Hold on. iPhone 14 Pro silicone case. Here we go. I'll be dropping a link into.
I'm ready.
What did I get? It's technically it's called elderberry.
Yep. Okay.
And there's a link.
Oh man. Okay. Elderberry.
Mm-hmm.
That is more of a burgundy.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It looks. In fact, the picture there has the purple
Right.
phone, and it's phenomenal.
Can I be honest?
Mm-hmm.
That does look good.
Mm-hmm.
No shame. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
great. The lilac with the purple showing through the camera.
Yeah.
I like
Also
that.
good.
I
Also
like that.
good.
That's
Mm-hmm.
just going to show a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
Pink also big winner there.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh,
Yep.
red. Ugh.
Yeah, not red. No.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
I like
$49 for that bad boy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, my family gives me shit for, well, my wife gives me shit about buying the Apple cases, and I tell her I don't care. I like them, and they have an Apple logo in the back, and
Jennifer, don't yuck his yum.
I want the Apple logo.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you should.
Yeah.
What is she? Is she like an OtterBox girl?
No, she just like types the. I this is how it works. I sent her the exact search term she should use via text, and she copies and pastes that into Amazon and finds something she likes.
Okay.
She doesn't do MagSafe. She doesn't care about any of that. Although this year she was kind of excited about the color of her phone, so she did pick it is a more clear case, but it does have some glitter, some bling to it.
Okay.
And she likes that quite a bit. So yeah.
Man, everything's coming up Paul on this podcast this week. I love that.
I mean, today has been a good day so far, Drew.
Yeah.
It's been a good day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is good, buddy. I'm really happy for you. That's all great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Want to talk about how my life sucks?
Yeah, let's hear about it.
All right.
This can't be fun.
Yeah, so here's what happened to me this week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get much mail anymore. But when I do, it's usually pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
So a letter came posted to me on Monday. And at first glance, it looked completely inconspicuous and looked like junk mail.
Okay.
But sometimes when I'm not completely sure, I decided I should probably open this letter. Like a little part of me said I should probably open this letter.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it was from a collections agency.
Uh-oh.
So it said that Andrew Fergewell, living at address redacted, apparently owed PayPal some money.
Oh.
And I first thought to myself, I use PayPal. I have used it to send money. I have never used any sort of credit services from PayPal. Did something happen where somebody had requested money from me and I didn't approve it? Like, okay, mistakes happen.
Yeah.
So I take the letter, scratching my head, and I go downstairs to my computer. I fire up PayPal. I'm looking through it, and like, there's nothing in there that says I owe any money whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's like 6:00, and the letter has like instructions about what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to call them, or you're supposed to like mail them back something and like ask for more information, or just remit payment or whatever. And it's not a ton of money, but I don't want to pay it.
Right.
Because I didn't.
The principle of the matter. Yeah.
I didn't do it.
Because there's a good chance it could be bullshit.
Yeah. And that's exactly what this is. So I call the collections agency, and they pick up the phone, and at first I'm extremely skeptical, right? Because one, in my mind, there's like one of two scenarios that's unfolding in front of me right now. And one is I'm a victim of an extremely elaborate phishing scheme.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
like,
right. Yeah. That could be. Yes.
It's a fake collections letter. And somebody's trying to elicit some information from me. So my shields are up, right? Like, I have no idea what to expect here. The other situation is that this is a legitimate thing, and I've been identity theft, right? Identity thieves have used my information to do something nefarious. So like,
someone opened up another PayPal account in your name.
Right.
Yeah.
So shields are up, and I very carefully talk to for all intent and purpose, and I'm sure that these people have one of the worst jobs in the world, because I'm sure they get screamed at daily, and I was close. Agent on the other end of the phone, and I said, I read the letter. I don't think this is me, but I want to get more information. I want to know who you are and who you represent. And he asked for the reference number on my letter. I gave it to him. He was able to pull up all my information, right? And he basically verified for me that this is, this collections company represents PayPal. And he was able to rattle off to me like the internal PayPal account number, because like your PayPal account number per se is your email address, but like there is like an internal identifier for PayPal that is on this thing. He was able to tell me the email address that was used for the PayPal account, the phone number tied to the PayPal account, and the address. So one of those pieces of information were mine, and it was the address.
Oh, okay.
The phone number and the email address were different, and the email address was off by one letter.
Neat.
Yeah, and it was even at Gmail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently someone had opened up a Gmail account and sent some payments and didn't pay PayPal for them. Now, at that point, right, like just pause right here for a second, right? I am extremely conspicuous with my credit, my personal information, passwords. Like I think that I probably am in the good to excellent in terms of like securing my information, right? I have been the victim of mass information dumps and leaks, like Experian and other companies that my information is leaked from. So like, there's no doubt in my mind that my name and address are out there. And I think that any reasonable human should just assume that theirs is too. But, up until we bought a house last year, I leave my credit file locked. Like nobody's going to be getting a line of credit in my name unless I unfreeze that. Right? Like that's the point.
Right.
Now the question I have is this. How is someone able to send money through PayPal without a balance in PayPal? Because in my mind, that's credit. Right? If I were to go on PayPal right now and set up a new account and provide some information to it, I could send Paul Baylor money. And I think PayPal is like a loan shark in this regard, where it's like, yeah, you're good for it. Just, pay me whenever. And then you never pay them. And then they get aggressive, right?
Right.
But to me, that's not different than getting a line of credit. Like, why would you be able to do that if you didn't have money in your PayPal account? So unless this person like used my information, opened a PayPal account, deposited money, and then somehow yanked that money away, like, like someone pulling a tablecloth out from like the dinner, like, I don't understand how that happens, right? That doesn't make sense to me that that's the way that happens. So after speaking to the person on the phone, they were like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to stop collections. We're going to report back to PayPal that this isn't you. He gave me some advice on like, boilerplate, like go to the Consumer Protection Information Board and know your rights on identity theft. And I'm like, I got you, fam. And he's like, he goes, what'll happen now is we'll report this back to PayPal. They'll do an investigation and they'll let you know what they find. And I was like, well, should I call PayPal? And he goes, you can, but our information isn't going to make it over to them till tomorrow because it was getting kind of late. He goes, you can get a hold of them and see if they'll do an investigation or whatnot. But there will be a follow-up at some point about, what they find.
Okay.
Now, last episode, we talked about how hard it was to get someone on the phone from UPS.
Yes. Yeah.
I would pay money for anybody that could tell me how you're supposed to get a hold of someone at PayPal. So here's what happened. So I got off the phone with the collections agency and I go to the PayPal website and I'm pissed. I'm scared. I have no idea what's going on. Right.
Yeah.
They have a resolution center where you can go and resolve your problems. Right. So if you go to the resolution center on PayPal and you use keywords like fraud or identity theft or unknown charges or anything like that, they like to give you information like, here's what you should do. And then, was this link helpful?
No.
Right. And, there is a contact us. There is a contact us button. So I sort of got through the first mini boss of the resolution center.
Right.
And I managed to find this thing where it's like contact us. And you click a button and it presents you with a phone number and like a little 6-digit code. Like, hey, tap this code in whenever you call us and we'll know who you are and we'll know like what you're calling about. So I do that. And it's like, welcome to PayPal, type in your code. Or if you have a code, type it in now. And then you go into like a queue and then like 2 minutes go by and it's like, yeah, our agents are all really busy. you can use the intelligent chat feature on our website if you need to talk to somebody. Okay, bye. So
middle fingers.
Yeah, middle fingers, right? So I tried the intelligent chat feature, and it's all bot driven, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, using my insider knowledge of how chatbots work to try to break this thing, to like break out of this and like get to like a human.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I get to a point where it's like, based on the information you provided, we will be reaching out to you at some point in the future.
Okay.
And I'm like, that is a qualitative statement. Like, I'm looking for some definitive stuff here, because it's getting on to like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and like they close at 6. So like maybe the queue's already shut down or whatever, and they're getting ready to close up for the night. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not satisfied, right? So like I start clicking around the PayPal website, and like I find links to PayPal credit. So I call PayPal credit, and I get a whole different person over there who bounces me to another person who bounces me finally to someone that I can talk to. So like I sort of backdoored it by calling the wrong number on purpose, and then them transferring me to a queue that didn't like make me go through this thing. And I explained the whole situation to this lady, and she noted that it was going to go to investigations. Like, don't worry about it for now. And I haven't heard anything since, except I got a push notification on my PayPal app yesterday that they had received my notification. Here's some links to some identity protection stuff.
Nice. Thank you.
You can now end the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Super great.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, we did it. Got them. So at this point, I don't know what the status of this thing is. I think it's really shitty that it's that easy. The agent lady said that they opened this account and they only needed the last 4 of my social to do that. But clearly they knew the last 4. What's the other 5, right? Like, I mean, it's just so shitty that people can do that way. And I don't understand the mechanics of how they're able to do that, but it's sort of on them right now. The shitty part of this is that because it went to collections, this is gonna like fuck up my credit score until it gets resolved. So like, it's gonna bounce back. I'm hoping, right? Because I've sort of explained like this isn't me. I don't know how they did this, and this can't be the first time this has happened, right? So I think PayPal's aware of it, and I'm hoping they'll come back and say, look, sorry this happened. Like, we'll stop the collections audit. You're good, and I'll probably need to like get that expunged from my credit report at some point, and it's just a shitty thing to have show up. And thank God, like, I'm not going through like buying a house or getting a new car or something right now to where that's going to show up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to explain it, but who knows, right? Like, it's just such a shitty thing. Now,
it does suck.
Now, footnote on this story, right? They told me that this account was open in August of last year.
Okay.
Now, Paul, one of my maxims of life is I just don't believe in coincidences. August last year is when I had was on the tail end of unfreezing my credit to apply for my home loan.
Right. Yeah.
So being able to open that in that period of time, right after we had moved, I don't buy it.
That
right?
feels like an inside job then, right?
There feels like there's more going on here, right? And like, I think I had talked about the Kentucky's worker comp thing, which happened right before we opened this thing. And like, I don't know, like, identity theft sucks, and it's a super slimy thing, but like, it's just close enough to those dates where it's just like,
yeah, that's suspicious for sure.
Super sus. Super duper sus. So I had to like go put a fraud alert, on my credit file, and like now people have to like call me if they want to open something, and that lasts for a certain period of time, and I don't know. It's just a shitty thing. Like, that is and there's like literally nothing more I can do right now.
Yeah.
And God forbid that they come back and say, well, we think this is you, and I get stuck footing it. Like, I'll have to like find some way to like fight that, because I feel like in paying it, the problem would go away, but not in the way that I want it to go away. And plus, I don't know again what the overarching implications of my credit report are. So I need to like get this to go away in a favorable way for me.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You need to do this by the book.
Yeah. And like, it's funny, right? Because every year, because we're coming up on open enrollment right now, right? We're coming up on open enrollment, and like, you pick your health care and your life insurance and accidental death and dismemberment from, I guess, a computer exploding or whatever. But like, there's always like, hey, sign up for like our legal representation program, because that's a benefit we would get where I work.
Oh.
And like, they give you like, identity theft protection and guarantees and representation and stuff. And I'm like, guess I probably should have signed up for that last year.
Yeah.
That $20 a month probably wouldn't be so bad right now, huh?
Because you can make this somebody else's problem.
Yeah, I could call this line and say, go fix this, right?
Yep.
So it's shitty. It's just shitty. It's definitely not what I needed with all the other stressors I have going on right now, but that was like my sort of bad thing that happened this week. So hopefully that gets resolved. I probably follow up to come for that. And like, don't do that. Like, just don't be a slime ball, right?
Yep.
And like, my home address, I'm sure, is out there like on the dark web, or you can buy my info or whatever. But like, there was a period of time where like my home address is on my ham radio license, but that got flipped to a PO box, and like, I moved and it's still on the PO box. So like, I was sort of running down ways that maybe somebody found my home address somewhere. Like, we shred all our stuff. Like, again, I feel like I'm on the higher spectrum of being careful with that type of information, but somehow that one slipped through the cracks. And again, I really want an answer from PayPal about how somebody's just able to do that with only those pieces of information. It's really weird, right? It's not like somebody applied for credit in my name.
Right.
Because I have safeguards and guardrails in place to prevent that, but they didn't do that, yet still use this as credit that now I have to somehow pay.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
That sucks.
It sucks real bad. Let's wrap things up here with a couple quick updates.
Okay.
Real quick, if you're a listener of this show, one of the things that I want to draw your attention to is this organization known as Pink Ribbon Girls. Paul, are you familiar?
I am not.
Yeah, so
oh, look at this.
Yeah, so there's a ton of breast cancer research, treatment organizations out there that do good for women who are people, as I think men. I don't know if this applies to men too. But I think it's mostly women. I don't know. I'm not gonna forget I said anything. But this organization is, I think, better than most and some of the other ones that are out there. I'm not going to name any names, but I think you know some of them I'm talking about. I'm sort of adjacent to this to a local fundraising effort for this organization. Tomorrow, we're recording this on a Thursday, so tomorrow, October 28th, there is going to be an event at the gym I go to where people are going to sign up and do the workout Grace.
Okay.
And back in your CrossFit days, I don't know if you ever did Grace.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, so it's 30 clean and jerks for time.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So link to the workout will be in the show notes. But Grace is a very fun workout. It's a high energy workout. It's a fast workout because you're supposed to go as fast as you possibly can. Yeah. So the gym is hosting an event tomorrow evening. You can go and watch. You can go and sign up. You can go and do this. And if you sign up and do it, there's also going to be like raffles and all kinds of things. It's a big event. Like the gym I go to has done this for other organizations in the past. It's going to be the same thing here. It's going to be a fun time. And because it's going to be such a social event and a high energy event, like people are going to be cheering you on. It's going to be a good time. So I'm going to sign up. I'm going to do it. I'm also matching donations through the gym. So for every person that signs up, I'm donating $1. Okay. So starting tomorrow night, about 4:15ish, there's going to be heats that go on. I'm going to be doing it probably with my buddy Scott. We're going to tag team it. We're going to go a little heavier since there's two of us, which that's going to be a whole struggle bus, but we'll get it done. So if you're interested in learning more, or if you're able to, if you're in the greater Columbus area and you want to come see, well, it'll be over by then. Fuck. If you want to know more about Pink Ribbon Girls, go to the website. There'll be a link in the show notes. Throw them some money. It's a real cool org. I'm happy that the gym is partnered with it. I think it's going to be a fun event. We're going to have a good time.
Awesome.
Last thing. So we're coming up on Halloween weekend here.
We are.
When is your trick or treat?
I assume it's going to be on the 31st. I actually don't know.
Yeah, it's the 31st is a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We have procured the Halloween candy we will be handing out.
We have
I
not.
I have a grievance.
Okay.
My wife bought a beautiful, big, bountiful bag of candy.
Okay.
And in the bag of candy are Sour Patch Kids.
Nice.
Now, again, listeners of the show will know we're very high on Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, they're delicious.
They're amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There is a very disturbing trend happening in Halloween candy this year, though, Paul, and I don't know if you're aware of it.
I am not aware of it.
So my wife bought this big old bag of candy, and if I were to tell you that there was a Halloween size of Sour Patch Kids, if you walk into your mind palace, what do you see?
Yeah, so it's not a huge bag, right? But like it's a little pouch. It's yellow. It says Sour Patch Kids. You know, it's maybe like 2 inches, maybe 3 inches in all dimensions, and it probably has between like I would say like 8 and 12 Sour Patch Kids in it.
That's generous. I want to say it's usually between 6 and 8.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But you're absolutely correct. Now this bag of candy, Paul, this big old bountiful bag of candy has that the canonical Halloween size grab and go Sour Patch Kids. Okay, and I love that because you know my wife's a giver and she opened the bag of candy, she put some in the candy dish on the counter, and that's a great little grab and go snack. You know, I come upstairs to go to the bathroom, boom, Sour Patch Kid,
Sour Patch Kids,
yeah, right on the way down the stairs, sugar everywhere, like it's great, right?
Yeah.
However, in this same bag are also little bags of Swedish fish. Now, Paul, if I were to tell you there was a Halloween size of Swedish fish, what do you envision that looks like?
Exactly the same as before, just with Swedish fish in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's even a yellow bag. Who would have thought, right?
Exactly.
You're saving money up and down. However,
I like Swedish fish. Those are good.
Swedish fish are really fucking good. However, also in this big, beautiful, bountiful bag of candy are single serving Sour Patch Kids and single serving Swedish fish.
Is there like one?
There's one. Now it's big. It's a big boy or girl.
It's a big one.
But the single, like, what the fuck? Like if I want a Sour Patch Kid, I don't want just one.
No.
I gotta find a picture. I gotta find a picture of this fucking thing. Sour Patch Kids single serving.
I see it around Amazon. Big, individually wrapped, soft and chewy.
Yes, yes, you're looking at the same thing. Big, by the way, big is generous. It's probably double. It's like a double stuffed Oreo, right? Like it's twice as big, and that's not saying much, right? But fuck off. Like I don't want to have to like if I'm in the mood for a Sour Patch Kid, we're in the dozens.
I'd be pissed. We're in
the now they did the same thing to the Swedish fish here too.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah. This sucks.
I'd egg your house.
Yeah, we're a target, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. I hate that this is a thing. Like, first of all, again, I like the idea that these are a little bit bigger, right? But again, when I reach to the candy dish, I'd rather grab the sticky Sour Patch Kid than an individually wrapped Sour Patch Kid that I now have to like free from its plastic prison and pop it in my mouth and experience that wonderful, you know, gooey, sugary, soury rush. It's way too much work and it's way too much packaging. Sour Patch Kids are destroying the planet. There, I said it.
How dare they?
Yeah, I'm gonna be brave and just say that that's what's really happening here. So you know, parents, be on the lookout. You know, if you're trick or treating in my neighborhood, just know it probably came from us. But you never know what you find in your kids' candy this year, and I don't want this to be a thing that shocks or alarms you. But this is a thing that is happening. What a pain in the ass.
That's awful.
That's awful. Yeah, and like, look, they even give you the size comparison, right? Like, look at that.
I said, yeah.
It's thick, but goddamn. Oh my God, check this out. Okay. There's a link on here. Starburst Fave Reds, so it's all the reds. Chewy candy bulk pack. So it's like the theater Starburst. You know, you get like in that big square tube.
Yes.
Pack of 24. How much you thinking?
Pack of 24?
24 of those glorious tubes.
$30?
$30. $30.96 on the nose, buddy. Boom.
Nice.
Yep, nailed it. Oh, wait. Skittles. Skittles Smoothies Chewy Candy Bulk Pack, full size. The 1.7 ounce bag, pack of 24. Go.
Ooh, I'm gonna say that's probably 32.
23.
Damn it! I went the wrong way.
These are the slightly smaller bags. Like these are the
okay.
These are like the kind you see at the cash register, the smaller bags.
Okay.
Not trick or treat, not quite trick or treat size, but not the big bag you get at the movie theater.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, what else we got here? Oh my god, have you ever had a Nerds rope?
I love.
All right, here we go.
Nerds
rope rainbow candy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
0.92 ounces. Oh my god, I can't tell if it's one rope per container. Okay, I'm gonna say it's one rope per container.
Okay.
They have a human for size, by the way. That's adorable. 24 count pack. So it's 24 in a pack. How much?
24 in a pack. $22.
This one's trending back towards 29. We're almost at the 30. Here, let me do one more for you here. Let's see what else we got. That doesn't look good. Nerds candy corn. That's a crossover I didn't expect. All right, here you go. Okay. You're gonna hate this, but all right. So, you know how sometimes you would have those delicious red vines in like not the big bag, right? But like the little square pouch that has like a few red vines in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Twizzlers Twist, strawberry flavored candy, bulk. They're the 2.5 ounce bags, and there's 18 of them. This is all going in my cart. Like this is all going in my cart as we're talking, by the way.
Twizzlers. I'm gonna say that's $16.
That's $19. Red and for the record, red vines are the better licorice.
They are.
And you by the way, you turned me on to that. By the way, you converted me.
Red vines are better. I mean, a Twizzler is still good. Don't get me wrong.
No, I won't kick a Twizzlers out of bed. No.
Nope.
No, not at all. Yeah. I mean, here we go. Last one.
Okay.
Sour Patch Kids, soft and chewy candy, Christmas candy stocking stuffers, 2 ounce package.
Christmas candy.
That's a big pouch, son. 2 ounce patch.
Okay.
That is like, to put it in perspective, I'm going to say that is probably 3.5 canonical Halloween packs.
Ooh, okay. How many?
There's 24. There's 24 in a box.
I'm going to guess because it's Christmas themed, it's probably a little higher.
I'm going to give you a hint and say it isn't.
Oh, shit. Okay. $19.
17. Close. I'll give it to you.
Damn it. Damn.
Yeah.
I figured they would up. I figured they up the price on that.
By the way, they got a picture of a Sour Patch Kids bag next to a Sony PlayStation controller. I can't think of a worse thing to touch after you've had Sour Patch Kids, by the way.
I also love that that's their frame of reference. Like, these nerds know how big a controller is.
Rockin'. Grab your skateboard and these Sour Patch Kids.
Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, exactly. All right, get us out of here.
Hey, we're on the internet, doingthebest.com, on Twitter, doing best pod. I almost forgot our Twitter handle there for a minute. I'm on Twitter at Paul Baylor. And where can we find you, Drew?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pittsburgh, PATTFURG. Probably going to be some Call of Duty streaming in the future, so come watch me be toxic.
Duty. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.